Hello again, everyone, and thank you for joining me. We are going to assess the tactical situation real quick. In our last video, you may recall we conquered the Etruscan-held town of Ariminum in the province of Italia. So we now completely control the province of Italia, and we are halfway home on that first mission we have from the Senate that we got at the opening of the campaign to completely control two provinces. The next one we're going to have to conquer is this one down here. And as you also may recall, a few turns ago, Syracuse, this faction, not this city, but this faction here, this flag, took over Lilybaeum from Carthage, which is good because now I don't have to declare war against two nations to take one island. So hopefully they'll hold that. They are having some public order problems, which I don't know, that could make things interesting when I move in. But for now, we are at the end of that battle. I haven't done a thing since the resolution of that battle. So we're going to let that army that just rested there. This is Legio I Italica, and they're probably going to become a pretty formidable force over the course of Roman history here. For those of you just joining me who have no idea what's going on, there's an introductory video at the beginning of this series. But just to give you a quick primer, we are charting our own version of history in a neat little game called Total War Rome 2. It's a turn-based simulation, plays a little bit like Risk, but more in depth with a lot of simulation of politics and income and military. And when the battles happen, you actually get an even more in-depth depiction of the battles where you can see tactical battles happening between lines of troops, charging cavalry, archers firing, artillery, city sieges, and all kinds of things. So whether you're a gamer or not, history buff, teacher, etc., I think there's something entertaining for everybody as long as you have a little bit of free time to enjoy a 15-minute episode. So without further ado, I don't have anything to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and end the turn. Oh, I lied. I do have something to do. Since I completely control this province now, I'm going to declare a bread and games edict, which will help with public order and provide some extra food. It's always good to do bread and games. Let's see what other options we have. Romanization, which we don't need to do because it's already mostly Roman. It's 100% Roman, in fact. Yeah, it's 100% Latin, so we're good. And then there's tax harvesting, which we don't need to do because we're not really hurting for income. We're small right now. We shouldn't expect too much money. So yeah, bread and games it is. We're going to end the turn, and next turn we'll have some extra money coming in. So these are our other factions going by. I'm contemplating making peace with the Etruscan League because the only remaining Etruscans, let me show you where they are. What's going on in the... All right, so we issued our edict. And the population of Magna Graecia are feeling encouraged. That means public order is improving in Magna Graecia, and we're going to get additional growth and additional taxes. Let's see how things are doing there. Oh, that's only going to continue to improve. It's much different from the situation a few turns ago where this number was in the negative. Now the overall public order is 28, and it's changing by 14 per turn, which is great. We're going to go and upgrade Cassentia here to be a farming settlement because we've already given it a farm, so it makes sense to continue to build that. I believe Roma, in one turn, will have a few... There you go, right there. We'll have a few buildings done that will allow us to train better troops and also help with public order. Villa 3 needs to be expanded. Let's expand... Tell you what, we want plenty of food in the Heartland, just in case there's any issues outside. So let's go ahead and add another farm. I've been playing a lot of Total War Attila since it came out earlier this year, so I think a lot more about food now than I used to when I'm playing this game. Food is not as important in Rome 2, because this is during a period of history where all of this land, of course, was a lot richer. It hadn't been as exploited by, large civilized, large organized civilizations. So it's not as big of a concern, but let's go ahead and crank up food. Also, Neapolis' temple can be upgraded here. But you know what? Before I spend all my money, let me see if there's anything we can do politically. We now control 60... Wow, check that out. We control 61% of the Senate. We are exalted, which means there's a great research bonus, a really good public order bonus, good tax bonus, and a morale bonus. It doesn't get much better than that. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on things otherwise. But here's what I think I want to do. I want to have these guys, I'm going to tell them to march quickly. I'm going to have them come down to Neapolis. Speed up their march a little bit. And I'm going to have these guys move up to Ariminum. It'll take them a few turns to get there, as you can see from the change in color there of their movement line. That indicates that it'll take a second turn to complete that move. They're not complaining too much over that loss of the army nearby, so should be okay. And in the next turn, we'll get Legio Italica to be down here at Consentia. The objective, of course, being to prepare to fight against Syracuse. This is our most trained army, and we want them down there. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's go ahead and upgrade. Okay, we'll do an auxiliary camp in Magna Graecia. That way, the reason I've just done this is a bit more tactical, but this way in the upper province of Italy, we have a certain type of barracks. And down here, we have another type. So between our two mainland Italian provinces that we're controlling, when we'll be able to train all sorts of different types of troops within a couple of turns. So that's it. Let's see what the Etruscans are doing. They have a very, very, very tiny fleet. One little unit, probably maybe 100 or so men, maybe less. Don't know, can't see them, but we know they're out there. And Eulalia has an army that's also training. As you may recall, their main army was in Ariminum when we attacked, and we prevented them from escaping and attacked Ariminum, and it did not go well for them. So the Etruscan League is kind of reeling, which tempts me to actually finish them off, frankly. Just to have them out of the way, because we're at war with them. Yeah, I think I will go ahead and do that in the next turn. So here we go. I don't want to spend too much time thinking aloud, but I also want you guys to kind of know what's going on inside my head while we go through this campaign. All right, so that fleet moved to Eulalia during the Etruscans' turn. So they're all here. They've consolidated their forces. Let's see. All right, we've completed our research. Oh, and the Ludi Plebii, or Plebii, maybe? Need to brush up on my Latin pronunciation when it gets that complicated. This is going to give us, looks like, a public order and a wealth bonus for a couple of turns, which is good. So let's go ahead and finish the move here. Well, tell you what, we'll keep them in Velathri. And what can we do to train them? Oh, yes. Excellent. Hang on. We have things to do. Yes, yes, yes. All right, we're going to go ahead and replace the old spearmen we trained a few turns ago with Triarii, which is an improved spear unit we now have the ability to train. We're also going to add some cavalry. That's the only thing we can do this turn. We're just building up that army, and this will help us if we go and knock out the Etruscans before they build up too many units. So it's now winter 266 BC. And what that means is that since 272 BC, in the process of about 6 years, we have managed to conquer most of mainland Italy. We have one more province up here that's held by 3 separate nations. So that's going to be a whole nother battle, which we'll do a little bit later on. But I think our primary target right now will be the final Etruscan settlement in Eulalia, because they are reeling, and if we get them now, we can remove them from the picture. Research-wise, let's go ahead and do some additional research. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a ship upgrade research so we have some naval power as well. Anything we can do here? Why not? Okay, so just spent the last bit of our money for this turn upgrading our fleet just a little bit, because our fleet and our army here, I think, are going to travel together to the coastal city of Eulalia there. So, yeah, that's all we can do for that turn to end the turn. Got excited when I realized that that new barracks had finished building. We can train new types of units and make our armies stronger, which is a big deal. Subject gains notoriety. The name of one of your subjects is on the lips of everyone. Whether this will prove beneficial remains to be seen. Let's see what's going on. The keeper of the auspicious chickens informs us that the birds have eaten heartily, a sure sign that we are favored by the gods. Let's sacrifice a white sheep to noble Jupiter to thank him for his blessing. That seems like a good, well, for the time, moderate response. Celebration, that could invite a little bit of gluttony, maybe. Maybe there's a bad thing about doing that, bad risk, I'm not sure. But we're going to go with the white sheep. Now, what else can we do with this army here? Some additional cavalry recruits, yes. And I hate to do this in a way because I want to bring in Principes to this army. These are the upgraded units. They do a lot more damage than the existing Hastati, but these guys have experience. But you know what? It's not worth it to preserve that small amount of experience right now. I would rather have, in just one turn, a fully prepared and modern Roman army ready to sail over to Eulalia. So that's what we're going to prepare for. Again, we're going to end the turn and go to, looks like summer 264 BC. Moving along.
All agreements are at an end.
Interesting. Carthage has ended their non-aggression pact with you. Wonder if that means the Carthaginians are planning something against me. That's usually an early sign that relationships with a faction are deteriorating. We've given thanks to Jupiter and all is well. So the chickens have spoken. That's the event message. Goodness. All right, so Magna Graecia continues to be more and more motivated. Italia also is doing very well. So I have a very happy population right now, which is good. And now this army is fully ready. What can I do fleet-wise?
Rome needs more ships.
Let's go ahead and...
At your command. Boarding.
Okay, I have just boarded up the army to be a part of that fleet. And what I'm also going to do now is spend some money to build up this army here. I'm going to disband this Hastati so I can have 6 Principes and cavalry. And this episode is going to be mainly just preparing. So we're just going through some turns, letting time pass. It's going to be fall 263 BC in the next turn. So almost 10 years have passed since the beginning of our campaign. This is a kind of conservative start. I want to make sure my armies are in good shape before I go making any brazen moves. Okay. Our research is completed. Massalia and Liguria have negotiated peace. Massalia is a Greek faction. We have an issue from the Senate as well. Or a mission issued from the Senate. Massalia is a Greek faction. Up here. Oh, here they are. It's actually, as you can see, it's a fairly large port city. Greeks settled this area. I can't, for the life of me, remember. I looked it up a while ago what modern Massalia is. It is actually a modern city that's still around. Just like Medlin up here, Mediolanum is modern Milan. But, so these guys and these guys just made peace, which doesn't really have any ramifications for me right now. But our research finished as well, so let's go ahead and research this last part. Training reforms, which will give us better recruitment costs, better upkeep costs. It'll cost us less money to upkeep our armies, which means that with these new units we're building, we won't lose as much money every turn. It's good. All right. Almost done here. All right, we're going to do one more turn of prep. And in the next episode, maybe prepare for a move on Eulalia. Alright, so this army... Notice my income is going down because I've got these troops. And maintaining them is expensive. But it's worth it. This spy here, I have made the mistake of not doing much with her. Shame on me. So let's go ahead and have her running counterintelligence. That'll help her gain some experience every turn. Now we have the ability to expand Brundisium, which we're going to do. And let's Let's see. Brundisium is mostly a Greek quarter. So we're going to add consecrated ground here, which is a religious building. And that will give us additional public order and additional Latin cultural influence and help us convert this area from a Hellenic culture to a Latin culture. Just make sure that the Roman Empire is culturally sound. Okay, so now the people in Magna Graecia are very happy, which is good. Helps make sure that we're solid up here. All right, so this is Legio to Antiqua, General Cornelius Scipio of the house... Cornelius Scipio Asina of the House of Cornelia. So he actually, by winning battles with him, I will give credit to his house. So that's not the most convenient thing in the world, which is why I want to have this guy here fighting my battles for me for the most part. But, okay, I'm going to cut this episode here, and in the next episode we're going to prepare for the final assault on Eulalia and possibly even... Ooh, they're building up as well. That'll be a fun fight. Hope you'll join me next time.